Hello everybody, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Chris, and if you're subscribed to this channel, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. If you are new, you're more than welcome to join us and click that subscribe button down below. In this video, I'm going to talk about Zoom and musicians. So before I get into that, I want to talk about a little bit with asynchronous. But with asynchronous, it's the opposite of the Zoom era. But with asynchronous, it is completely online. We don't meet each other or we don't get on Zoom or anything. But what we do is, the teacher just posts every directions of what we need to do when it comes with playing in a band or playing in an ensemble, whatever, or whether the host or the director, tells you like all these directions. And what you need to do is that you need to upload a video of yourself like playing your instrument. So they want you to see your face and they want you to see your instrument so that you know that you're playing. So they want you to have a video of yourself, upload, and play your part. But this can also be applied in synchronous ways when it comes with the projects and making a virtual concert. But when it comes with playing together in asynchronous manner, I know I talked about that, which we have to record ourselves or record a video and we have to play our part. But what the person, whoever's in charge of it, or the director, or the person who's in charge of the band, he probably will send you the directions, whether it's verbal instructions or it can be written instructions, just to make sure that you follow along. The person or the director will give you a track of the song, which it is composed in virtual instruments or just recorded a little bit of himself playing the parts, which this includes verbal instructions. But not only just verbal instructions, it can also include a metronome or without a metronome. So all you need to do is just download the track to your computer, and then you just gotta record your video, and then you just gotta open your camera, get your instrument ready, get it tuned, and once you got your camera running, now you press record, then you play your track, and you just gotta count them off. Well, but you have to count out like 1, 2, 3, 4, just to make sure that everything is on track when it comes with other people playing. So once you play that track, you just have to play it along and just follow the instructions. But always listen to the track before you just press record, and also practice before you press record. Because this is very, very important when it comes with playing your parts and making sure that everything is all played together. And every part is on time and on sync. So this is in asynchronous manner or barely synchronous. But when it comes with virtual concerts in asynchronous manner, when it comes with playing along of the track that the professor or the director has sent us, we have to make sure that we cannot hear that because we have to play our part. Of course, we have to use our good pair of in-ear monitors, which I'm using the cheap ones. Hopefully I might get one soon in the future, depending on the times, whatever. Which in-ear monitors are really cool. It's a lot of fun, more high quality, it's more resolutions. You have to have headphones in order to hear yourself so that you don't want the playback or the instruction track to be played on the speakers. The only thing that the professor wants to hear is your instrument and your parts. I'm going to talk about the synchronous, okay, which I said about Zoom and musicians. So what will happen? Because I know since my class that I'm currently at, since I'm a music major, is I'm taking music theory and jazz ensembles. So what we do is we have to meet each other on Zoom, which we have to meet at the specific amount of time. This is like pretending like we are going to school and attend to class in person. But for music theory, that's a little different, which the person, he's the only one that is playing and we have to just listen, but which that's going to be with ear training, whatever. Or dictation. But the problem is the audio can be cut out sometimes because not everybody will be able to have a good internet connection. Not everyone has a stable internet connection. Sometimes audio gets cut off with some reasons, but it's not the person's fault, but it's the internet, it's the modem, the bandwidth, everything. Not everybody has a perfect internet. But I'm going to discuss about the meetups when it comes to the ensemble or band or an orchestra, whatever type. But if you're just playing in solo, or you're just playing it just by yourself, such as the solo recital, that's no problem. You can play that on Zoom. But it is fun when it comes to like having a Zoom meeting, getting our instruments ready, and other people are getting ready as well. And the conductor or the person who is directing it will count them off and then just play. And everyone is unmuted. And there's a problem. I know it's fun when it comes to playing together in a virtual manner during this whole COVID-19 crisis. And, we have to stay at home and quarantine ourselves. I know it's a lot of struggle. But the problem is that I know I talked about that not everybody has a good internet. The problem is latency. So if everybody is unmuted with their instruments and we're all starting to play. So once we start playing or just playing our parts unmuted, unfortunately, it will not be played on sync. This is because of the internet problem or the internet connection. Not everybody has a good internet. Latency is been caused by the bandwidth. The bandwidth depends on whatever internet you have. And having a high-speed internet also does not mean that you're going to have a good speed or a perfect internet connection. There can be hiccups as well, which I already talked about with unstable internet connection. Hiccups happen unexpectedly. I know there are some huge issues about it. Even though if we just play on solo recital, that can happen as well. But as long as it's in a computer and it's not running anything, and it's just recorded to the microphone and no other people's playing, cutoffs happens. But you can still just hear yourself. But the other people who are just watching or just listening to us playing, the audio cutoff happens. But it is not just only everybody that uses Zoom. People also use in different types of group video chat or conference applications where we have to meet each other virtually, just like pretend that we are in person. But that's the same behaviors because that is the internet. Which this depends, the bandwidth, depends on the speed, depends on the latency. And there's no way to make it sound like on sync. There's no way to have everybody to be played together on Zoom or any other conference applications to everybody have their microphones unmuted and play together. There's no such thing as that. Latency is always there. Soloing is no problem unless the accompaniment is not playing it through the Zoom. But the accompanist has to give you a recording, which you have to download the file and then just play through the speakers and play your instrument along with it. For duets, still the same thing. Latency problems. If you're going to be doing a duet, if you're just at home and the other person is in a different house or a place where it's more than 2 people, that will still have a latency problem and it will be out of sync. And of course, it will sound bad if it's like that. And yes, that happens to everybody. So to all musicians out there, are you guys are doing asynchronous or synchronous? Like if you're like in an ensemble, but it's not just only in school, but are you guys in a band? Let me know in the comments. If you guys are in a band, are you guys doing like Zoom stuff? Or do you guys like meet virtually on Zoom, whatever you guys do? Talk about it in your comments, and you guys are more than welcome to. I was with my band, the 25 Miles. Of course, we did a little bit of a Zoom, but what we did is we just talked and just tell us how we did. Just even in ensembles, we just talked about it. Professor is the one that is only talking, which he's the one that has the instrument, which he's telling us just to follow, like, with the directions. And we all have to be muted, and all we do is just play our instruments, but muted. While the professor is like playing the backing track of the song. Yeah, so we do that a little bit of it, which that's no problem. But sometimes when the audio cuts off, it kind of gets annoying. And this is a lot harder, which that is my fact or my opinion. And that is a lot harder, which I gotta let you guys know. It is much, much harder than meeting in person as musicians. On whatever band are we, it is hard. Because of this pandemic, it is hard to do this on the internet and virtually. Once this pandemic is over and then we get back to our normal lives, time to say goodbye to Zoom and get ready to go back to in person. Getting ready to see our bands, watch concerts, attend everything when it comes to learning, to become a good musician, everything. When it comes to musicians, we always see each other in person when it comes with playing as groups, or playing in a band, or playing in an ensemble, or playing in orchestra. It is a lot different in the virtual era, or in the Zoom era, or in the asynchronous era. And yes, but for the professor, and yes, for the director, when it comes to like recording our parts, I know this is gonna be a lot of work because it has to be all aligned together in a DAW or in a video editing software when it comes with editing. But for like an orchestra or an ensemble, that's gonna take forever, and you really need a high-spec computer for that. But this depends on whatever specs you have, because if it's every person that is in the video, which is a lot, it's going to be like a lot of audio and video layers, which that is a ton of work. And that's going to be very difficult, and it's going to take a very long time for it to be processed and ready to be live, which is virtually. But when it comes to like bands is like commonly around 3 to 5 people. That's no problem with that. We can just finish that really quick without like any type of issues. All right, so to all musicians out there, if you guys are in the online era due to the COVID pandemic, what do you guys think, or what was your experience during this whole virtual class or Zoom lecture or Zoom era, whatever you guys call it? What do you guys think about it? Like, what was your experience? Do you think is really hard, or do you think it was a huge impact? Just comment down below. I would love to hear you guys to see if you guys have also, had a very big challenges when it comes with virtual careers or virtual musicians or virtual bands. You know what I mean? And I will try to respond about it as best as I can, because I really care about all of you guys. And also, our talents will never go away. Nothing can stop us. I know. Nothing can stop us, including COVID-19. They will not stop us. And of course, with this virtual era, it is not going to be forever. All right, so that includes all the information that I want to talk about when it comes with Zoom and musicians. So if you guys agree, just give it a like, comment. I know I said that many times. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day.